Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Vong, Technical Software Specialist here with Graitec Group. Thank you for joining me at this week's 15 at 15 session, where we'll dive into picture-perfect integration, embedding Excel images into Revit. So in this week's session, we will focus on embedding Excel images in Revit, and the Ideate product that we'll be covering today will be Ideate Sticky, and it's a tool that allows us to link in non-BIM documents straight into Revit. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we will be happy to assist. Okay, so just a reminder that today's 15 at 15 session will be recorded and will be made available on our YouTube channel. So you can go to the 15 at 15 recordings playlist on our YouTube channel and find our previously recorded sessions there. If we didn't have the chance to get back to you on the questions in today's session, you can email us at support@ideatesoftware.com. Another way you can get help is if you go to the Ideate toolbar in Revit. If you find the help button here shown in the slide and then go to support, that will redirect you to the Ideate help page where you can find multiple articles and FAQs there. So Ideate Sticky allows you to work with Excel, PDF or Word documents in their native formats, and we can link non-BIM data into Revit for HD quality resolution. So non-BIM data could be Excel-based schedules, photos of a site, equipment manuals, hand-drawn sketches, material samples, manufacturing data, code lists, code matrices, general notes, or hundreds of other documents that need to be displayed and kept up to date within the Revit project. So in today's session, we'll kind of focus it more towards the picture or images using Ideate Sticky to integrate those into Revit. And before the actual demo, we'll just cover a few more slides first. So why use Ideate Sticky? So here are a few points as to why. The first point, you can live link non-BIM data, that's Excel, Word or PDF, schedules or images into Revit projects. We can automatically update those imported contents, and we can easily locate instances placed in your Revit model and eliminate manual creation in Revit, reducing liability and saving time. And then we can republish that data across Revit projects without opening Revit. So in this slide here, this is looking at the interface of Ideate Sticky. So you can see here I'm using the Word, PDF, Excel option here in Ideate Sticky. And I've embedded multiple Excel worksheets into Revit. And here's a preview of that sticky that I've created. And then to the right here, you can see how it looks inside Revit here. And notice how the font color and the font style is also preserved because it comes in as a high definition image. And you can see here it's raster image in the Revit properties area. Another feature with Ideate Sticky is the auto update feature. So auto update, when checked here, means that every time you open Revit, it will scan for any changes and it would bring in the most recent version of that file that you linked into Revit. Alternatively, if you want to keep a snapshot of the old version at the time when the file was brought in, you can just leave the auto update unchecked. And that means that when you open Revit, it will not update. So Ideate Sticky also ships with some sample content to help you get started in the process. So if we go to this path here on your C drive, so program files, and then to samples here, you will find multiple file formats that you can begin testing with. So here we have Excel files, PDFs, and Word documents. Okay, so with all that out the way now, let's go and look at a video example of Ideate Sticky in action. Right, so here in Revit, I'm just opening Ideate Sticky here, and you can see we have two tabs. The first tab deals with Excel schedules, and then the second deals with bringing in stickies as an image. So let me just look at bringing in Excel as a schedule. So I've located my Excel and I've brought it in, and this is how it looks inside Revit. So notice that with this sticky, if I double click on it, it does open up as a Revit schedule. Okay. But if I do try to change something here, it's going to give me an error because it's not the correct way to change stickies. The correct way would be to edit the source file. Okay, so let's just go here and I'm going to create an Excel, but as an image. So let's bring in an Excel file. And here are the list of worksheets. And I'll bring in the same worksheet as I did the first time. And here's just a side-by-side comparison of the two. Now, if I do want to change the look of the text, then the correct way would be to change the source file directly. So I'm opening the source file, and here I'm going to make a change. So Ideate software here, and maybe highlight it in yellow. Save, and we're going to head back to Revit. So there is this update button as well in Ideate Sticky that I forgot to mention. So if we click on the update, that will reload that link. So I'm doing the update for both the Ideate schedule and the Ideate image sticky. So here you can see the two stickies have been updated. And just going back to the image tab of the Ideate Sticky. I'm going to bring in a PDF, and this is the interface, and I can bring in 3 pages at the same time. Okay, and there you have it, the 3 pages here. Right, so let's now look at some other quick use cases of Ideate Sticky. So in this example here, in the slide, this is an example where we can load in a data register, a drawing register, sorry, from Excel. So here is the case of manipulating the workbook in Excel and then bringing that over onto the title block area. Another use case for Ideate Sticky is to include some general notes that may be relevant to the title block. Okay, so here you can see over in the left here, we can control the region of the notes that we want to target. So in this example, we have several sections that we've targeted inside Excel. And over to the right here, you can see with the first sticky, it covers the full workbook. And then the second one is a reduced section. And then again with the third example. So there are controls in Excel where you can target regions. And then when you bring that over into Revit, you can select that region in Ideate Sticky and then link that in. And another example in Ideate Sticky is if you have some sort of health check reports created in Excel, you can also bring that into Revit here. So in this slide, I have a health check report created by using Ideate Automation. And here, this just showcases the metrics around my Revit model. Okay, and I've also brought in a render and 2 other sheets that I've created using Excel. Right, so that concludes today's 15 at 15 session. So there are a couple of ways to seek help or to gain support. So the first method is to go to Ideate software in Revit and click on the little drop down arrow from Ideate Explorer, and you can check for updates here, look at the online help page, or seek support directly here. Another method to get support is to email us directly at support@ideatesoftware.com. And then finally, if you have time, you can take the survey and also download the latest trial version of Ideate Software at ideatesoftware.com/download. Okay, thanks for attending today's webinar, and goodbye.